Hey guys, welcome back to Whining Blends. Here we are again for another episode, episode 4. Here with my co-host, Mr. Hoos. How you doing today, Mr. Hoos?
I'm awesome as usual, Big E. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. Not too bad. Hanging in there,
Nice.
having a good time, drinking again.
Yes.
Some Coronas. I think
It's becoming to be a habit here.
today. Yeah, that's why we call it Whining Blends.
That's right. So
We whine a little
Yes.
bit. We drink. Right? Maybe we have a little scotch a little bit later.
maybe
Celebrate the holidays.
Maybe mid-podcast.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll pour a little bit
celebrate a little
for the
scotch.
fans.
for the Christmas event.
Yeah. So how's your week going so far? You ready for
It's
everything?
good. Yeah, it's this time of the year. Every year this happens. It's, getting ready for the big day, which comes and goes, but preparation is fun.
Yeah.
We touched last episode about the party we had, which was awesome. At Cody, it was a good time, but it's about family and friends getting together and kind of
For
doing
sure.
the right thing. So making the rounds, having fun, being surrounded by the people that keep you positive and have a good time. So that's what counts. So looking forward to a good year and hopefully great things for 2025.
Yeah. We got 2025 around the corner. So we have some hopefully will be a big podcast year for us in 2025. We get some news.
Yeah, man, this is new for us and a ton of fun. So you touched on in the past about the amount of views that we had, which is shocking. This is brand new, folks. So we're excited to do this. We have a great time doing it. It's fun. Kind of lets you get release and have conversation. And I've got a terrible case of ADHD, so I just can't shut my mouth. So hosting a podcast is perfect for this.
Perfect. You could just whine, talk, and just
I can
keep
go home
going.
and sit on and say just talk all night to myself and have the world out there looking. But
Now you could just talk right to the
That's
camera
right.
and to our
face
audience,
the camera and talk.
and then that's it. Let them hear, what they got to say.
That's great.
I also want to thank our sponsors, Cody Marine, boat dealership in Tom's River. I want to thank Mystic Lobster Roll in Key West. Go get your lobster roll in Key West, guys. You guys out there for the winter, definitely the best lobster roll I've ever had. And I'm looking forward to going there and having a lobster roll there.
And the winter is amazing there.
I know. You can't get better weather than Key West in the winter.
I was there last year this time. I went on the 26th. It was kind of when we made the big move to get down there for this chapter in our lives. But I just couldn't believe the weather. It's like it's fall every day.
That's beautiful.
67 to 71 degrees, no humidity, and just a ton of people. And the vibe is just fantastic.
Duval Street is Duval.
Duval Street is just, it's amazing.
I know.
It's so cool.
You meet a lot of different people there. You have a good time. I see a lot of different boats, a lot of bars, a lot of partying.
Yes.
Everybody's just having a good time. I've been there, and to be honest, for as many drunk people as I saw, I didn't see one fight there.
Not one. It was the first thing I noticed. Coming from my background, I just expected with the amount of people I saw, there'd be a fight on every corner.
Right.
Not only is there not a fight at all, people are walking down the street drinking beers. See, the cops are cool in Key West. What they do, they're kind of middle of the road, man. They know how to deal with everybody. This is a tourist area, but it doesn't feel touristy. It just feels like everybody's kind of coming together.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really a pain and really hard on people. They let you kind of do your thing. But if you become that wise ass and you throw a bottle of beer and you crack it on the ground, or if you act like a jerk or an asshole, they're gonna do what they need to do.
Right.
So there's a bit of respect I think that they have for having a good time and doing your thing, and everyone pretty much treats it correctly. So I caught that first and foremost.
No,
So,
100%. That was the first thing I ever.
yeah,
too.
it was amazing.
Excuse me. Especially we're from North Jersey, so
Right.
you have a big crowd.
There's fights in supermarkets in North Jersey.
Yeah, that's true. Why didn't you hold the door for me?
Right, exactly. Bag my groceries? What are you kidding?
Yeah. So yeah, definitely Key West is different in that vibe. I mean, everybody's having a good time. Everybody's
Awesome.
drinking, partying. I think the weather has a lot to do with it too. You know what I mean? It's not cold. It's like you said, it's fall there, so everybody's in t-shirts and maybe like a little thin shirt or whatnot. And where they knowing if they're here in North Jersey or in New Jersey or Northeast, let's say, it's cold as hell. Like today, I think we woke up and it was 8 degrees or something like
it's
that.
like 25 feeling like 9.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's nuts.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah.
But here we are. I mean, we have to be here. Like, would I be in Key West now if I could? Sure.
Yeah. I'd be there right with you, bro, if I could.
I gotta plan another trip soon, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yes, 100%. So yeah, if you guys are down in Key West, go see Mystic Lobster Roll right on Duval Street, and get yourself a lobster roll there. We also want to thank Boa Vida Entertainment, and any new sponsors want to sponsor our podcast, just hit us up on our social media, and we're glad to sponsor your product. On that note, I do have a little sad news that we learned from that actually Ricky Henderson, which is the all-time MLB stolen base record for the most stolen bases, which he had 1,406 career stolen bases, and he actually had the most stolen bases for a single year of 130,
Amazing. Yeah.
which is crazy.
It is crazy,
right? Because now, I mean, you don't see people steal that many bases anymore,
right?
I think it's coming back to the game a little bit now because they made the
I saw it a little more than for a while. It just wasn't it wasn't there. It's part of the game now. Like I'm watching. I'm a bigger football fan than a baseball fan, but when you're watching, they're always making every attempt, and it may not be every player, but you'll see the one that steals second. They're going to try to make him steal third on steal third on the next one,
right
on the next at bat. So.
Well, which brings excitement to the game. I guess that's why they made the bases larger and everything like that, because to bring up the running game and the offense. I mean, listen, they got to keep up with football. Basketball was in a high, there were, a lot of basketball fans and stuff like that. So baseball, MLB was kind of drifting away and not a lot of, I think the younger fans are, again, the reason why we shortened this podcast, they don't want to sit there for 3.5 hours, 4 hours, for a pitcher to come off the mound, scratch their head, then decide to throw a pitch like 10 minutes later, right?
Stimulation. It's what's getting your mind into kind of what's
correct. Happening. And I don't blame them. I can't sit there either. I get kind of bored a little bit.
Baseball games. And, I was a bigger baseball fan as a kid than I am now, but I've been to games over the years, and sometimes games are just like,
they get boring, Yeah.
And now I got to go buy another $13 beer.
Yeah.
$12 hot dog and kind of wait this out. But listen, when you're into it, you're into football. To me, is a different story.
Oh yeah, it's
just constant,
nonstop action.
Yeah, my wife hates football. She's like, oh no, she likes baseball, but she thinks, but it's also an understanding. Like baseball's, I'm not saying one is more. It's hard to understand, but you have to have an interest to really like it. If you don't, you don't care. Baseball's kind of easy to kind of understand. You're watching it. You see the pitcher. You see the batter. You see everybody in the field. Football's a little more tactical. It's a little more strategic. What's the play going to be? What are we moving to right now? And John Gruden was actually, I saw a reel this morning. John Gruden was talking to, I guess, his staff at Barstool.
Okay.
Barstool Sports now. John Gruden works for it.
Yeah.
So he took, I guess, all these interns or a group of workers there, and he lined them all up. Listen, I love football. I wish I played it as a kid, and I didn't. So I don't know all the, of course, I picked it up over the years. I'm not an expert at the game, but you learn something new as you're watching it. But he lined everybody up, gave them positions, told them where they were at, and he actually ran a play and named the play. If I say 382, it's on the left side. If I say 385, it's on or 383, it's on the right side. Called it a bunch, and and just this means left, this means right. And now you understand when they're calling the
play.
Call,
and
what the play is, how it kind of materializes. And he made it sound so simple. If we can get a clip of it, I'd love to put it up. But it's for the people that don't understand. But I think if you grab that and gravitate to that, you may like the game more.
Right, 100%.
I mean, I have all daughters, and do I make them football fans? Sure, they all love it. Well, my oldest really doesn't, but everybody else kind of watches the games and they understand. But as I watch it with them, and it's been so long, and I mean, my oldest is 30, going to be 31 in a couple weeks. I got 2 in their 20s and a 17-year-old. For the most part, while we're watching games, I see them. They understand how the game's going.
Right.
They'll see a penalty. They'll know right away that's pass interference. They watch it that much
that
enough
often
to know that.
Right.
You know what I mean? They see a flag in the right away. They have an idea what it's going to be. Sometimes we don't know. It depends.
Yeah.
But the offsides, versus false start, and that kind of stuff. And
unless you get that crazy fair catch and you're allowed to shoot for, I never saw that.
Yeah, you see a lot of penalties, right? Unless you're the Chiefs, and then you don't see any.
Hey, they won another 1-score game. Go figure.
And I saw play from just over the weekend. I wish we had a clip, but he went over the line of scrimmage and passed the ball.
And they didn't call it?
No, of course they didn't. And it was like just one of his like famous like low passes.
Yeah.
Which is great. I mean, it's one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. There's no question. But the point is, like,
they get away with murder.
Angle, you see him crossing the blue line, which is the imaginary line of scrimmage during the game, and then you get, what? Come on, I'm at the game and I don't see the blue or the yellow.
Yeah, it's in TV.
So you see him go over that blue line. His foot is on like a quarter into the next yard. Like his foot is clearly over it, and then they show the other side, which you don't see the blue line, so you can't tell where he throws it.
Right.
But then it keep going back and forth. So I could tell him like his foot is over there, and they would, if I saw it, I'm not an official. They saw it.
Right.
They didn't call it. I mean, they just pick and choose, which really sucks about the game because it's supposed to be 100% competitive.
It should have been. Yeah. I mean, the rules are the rules. If you're going to break the rules, you got to call it.
So we're going to see Chiefs and Eagles again?
I hope not.
Absolutely not.
I mean, I don't know. The thing is, I think there's a lot more teams that the Chiefs need to go through unless they get the calls again. And, I don't know. I mean, are they trying to make the Chiefs a three-peat?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the thing.
That's like the new norm now.
Yeah, the first is 3 in a row because as much as the Patriots won, I don't think they ever did 3 in a row.
Right.
I think they did 2 in a row, missed 1, 2 in a row, missed 1, that kind of thing.
Okay.
I don't think they ever got 3 in a row. I could be wrong, but I'm just having this discussion because they're making a big deal about this three-peat thing.
Right.
Plus, the Taylor Swift thing doesn't help. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah. I'm already tired of seeing that with the whole Kelsey thing, and
it's kind of crazy. And you know what? Travis Kelce, I don't hear him doing as much as he used to, because
he hasn't.
He's too busy waving her up and about.
Saying hello. Hey, how you doing?
But I mean, look at these other teams. I mean, if we break it out, I mean, if really talk about who we would like to see. Of course, I detest the Eagles, but they're one of the best teams of football. You got to give it to them. I mean, they think that the Commanders kind of pulled a cheap shot on Jalen Hurts yesterday. I don't think so.
I don't know, man. I saw that game. I honestly don't believe. I believe the Eagles are good. I just don't think they're. I don't know. Maybe I just don't think they're good enough to make it to the Super Bowl again. For a reason. I mean, they have Barkley, which is different from. The last year, right? Because they went to the Super Bowl last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. They lost
without Barkley, right?
Yeah. So they have Barkley now, but I saw them as a better team last year than this year for some reason.
I mean,
think
pound for pound, they're really, really good this year. But I think the other thing too is it's not really a standout,
right?
Like to me, Buffalo is absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
right now.
That's why I think
the Lions.
I think Buffalo. Amazing. Well, the Lions are in the NFC.
Right, but I'm just saying.
So the Eagles would have to go through the Lions to get to the Super.
Correct. I'm just saying teams in general that are better this year that you think.
Right. I honestly would like to see Detroit.
I would too,
and Buffalo.
I would love to see
Detroit and Buffalo Super Bowl. No defense, just 60 points.
Yeah, right. Just
62,
put
60.
Them on a board.
The end score.
Put them on a board.
Just back and forth. Just sit down your punter. Yeah. Don't even bring out the punter.
I think the Ravens were in that category too, but I think now they're a click or two a little bit. You know what I mean?
They played too many close games too in there.
Yeah, I want to see some exciting Super Bowl activity. You know what I mean? And I'm just sorry the Eagles and the Chiefs they're just not going to do it for me. Granted, they got the best records and the best team out there. They were, as of right now, so to speak. It's fantastic, but I mean, last year we saw the same thing.
Yeah, we don't want to see another. I
don't want to see Chiefs and Eagles. I don't want to see the Eagles because I hate them. I want to see. Give me some new blood here. Give me Josh Allen MVP. Let him get out there and just kind of do his thing, man.
Do his thing, yeah. I think Buffalo Bills, Detroit Lions,
be amazing Super Bowl.
I think it'll be a good Super Bowl. Different.
Yeah.
I think you probably get a lot of people. Detroit
they played already, right? So they know.
Yeah, Detroit hasn't won a Super Bowl in how long?
Ever.
Right? They never won a Super Bowl.
I think they're it's them and the Browns.
The Browns, the only two teams that have won.
Never won a Super Bowl.
And then the Jets have the longest record for actually winning one, but not winning 55 years, I think. Right. Until Mr. Joe Namath, they won it for them, right?
Yeah, the curse of Joe Namath.
Joe Namath, yeah. Broadway Joe. Ain't no Broadway here.
That was a question on Jeopardy the other night. Who was the one team that...
Yes, I saw that.
Won the Super Bowl, before Neil Armstrong walked on the moon,
On the moon.
and hasn't won it since. I'm like, that's easy.
I said right away, Jets.
Right away.
Somebody said the Giants.
Yeah.
I wanted to go and smack that guy.
Stop.
Yeah, the Giants.
If you say the Giants haven't won a
You're
Super Bowl
freaking
since
idiot.
1968, then you shouldn't watch football.
I literally wanted
Go watch baseball.
When I saw that clip, I was like, I want to go up there and
Yeah,
smack
that's
that
stupid.
guy, bro. You freaking idiot.
Where were you, 86? Where were you, 90? Where were you, 2000? We're in the Super Bowl. Then, and you know, Tom Brady's card got pulled twice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come on.
Guy. Now the one lady, I thought she was not way off. She said the Browns. I mean, they never won.
Right.
So she was closer than this idiot with the Giants.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what the other person said, but this guy said Giants. I was
Well,
like,
there are some other teams too, but they were newer expansion teams.
Right.
You know.
Well, because it wasn't before Neil Armstrong walked on the moon.
Right, correct.
The whole fucking question, right?
For that too. But
Yeah.
other teams that didn't win, like the Texans, and they're
Right, but
you know what I mean.
yeah, they're new expansion teams.
And then you have Panthers or Jaguars. Everyone always flips them around. You know what I mean? Because
The Jaguars expansion,
same year they both started.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So, but that's funny. I saw that reel too about the Jeopardy. I literally wanted to get up and I was like, yeah, if that guy was next to me, I would have smacked him in the head.
One of the only final Jeopardy questions I've ever answered correctly.
Yeah, me too. Right away, I'm like the Jets.
Yeah.
The Jets. Right away.
Who is the Jets?
Yeah, who's the Jets? Ding, ding, ding! You win.
Did you wager, Mike?
Yeah,
2,500.
So, but yeah, that was funny. That was interesting. Anyway.
Yeah.
So what else we got here, Mr. Hoos? You got some news for me on some politics here? I heard.
Apparently, so Joe Biden apparently commuted 37 out of 40 death penalty sentences.
Yeah,
this morning.
It's amazing,
which,
man.
You know, the death penalty is a sensitive conversation, and I understand. And again, we say it all the time. This is an opinionated show. This is why we're here. If we didn't have opinions, why would we be here in front of you speaking? You don't have to agree, and I'm clearly okay with it. Am I a fan of death penalty? I think there's a place for it. It is what it is. That's how I feel. So 37 out of these 40 people, they're convicted and they're sentenced to death.
So
how long does it take?
I'm going to stop you right there.
Okay.
I'm going to read you some here of the people that he's going to let go. Okay. So the 37 out of the 40. One man, Thomas Sanders, he kidnapped and killed a 12-year-old girl. All right. And then he also carjacked and killed another person, a restaurant owner. Okay. So he's not going to face the death penalty anymore. You have another guy who planned and killed a naval officer. Okay. Letting him go. You got another guy. He actually executed an ex-girlfriend and her new boyfriend. Okay. Carjacked them and killed them. You also have another guy that kidnapped and killed a woman after he escaped prison. Okay. And then you have Anthony Battle, who killed a prison guard. Another guy they're letting go. And then you have Jason Brown, who stabbed a postal worker to death for no reason.
All right. So these
are a few names that are no longer on death row.
Right. So now they're going to be sentenced to life without the chance of parole or anything, which is okay. They'll never see the light of day. They'll never be able to re-victimize anybody else. So all well and good. But so it takes, with appeals, 20 years before somebody really is actually executed. So you have that time. I don't think it's ever a question of whether the person committed this heinous crime or not. So if you know that he did it, he or she did, whatever the case may be, and that's the fact of the matter is everybody agrees that you conducted this heinous crime. Okay. You don't deserve to breathe the oxygen. Everybody else is sorry. So now you're going to say we're going to take them off death row, and now we're going to commute their sentence to life imprisonment with that eligibility for parole ever. So now we got to pay for their 3 hots and a cot now.
Yeah.
So it ain't hard enough. So now all you did is now the tax burden is back on who? The regular American people that are out there every day doing what they're supposed to do. So now we got to pay for these assholes.
Yeah. And it's not one or two. I mean, you're talking about these people. You have one that you have a couple of these guys. They're young guys, so they're not dying tomorrow.
Right.
They're not dying in a year or two. So you have guys now that are going to be, with our tax dollars, they're going to have a cot to sleep in. They're going to have 3 meals a day.
Right.
Maybe they let them out to see light. Maybe they don't. We don't even know what the situation is. But
we have homeless veterans that they can't be fed.
Right. But yeah, let's commute
Let
these
this
guys.
guy, and he'll watch whatever TV you want in the room. And you know what? Let's face it too. What about the crimes that are committed actually behind bars and when they're there?
Right. That too.
Listen, it ain't an easy place to be. Tough survival. You know what I mean? Depending on what your crime is, you may not last long. But what if they commit a crime there too?
Right.
The point is, if you've done this, we don't need you here. Goodbye. Like,
No,
don't be here.
And the thing is, we're talking about crimes they were actually found and convicted of. We don't even know the crimes they've done before that.
That's right.
I mean, if they, like this guy killed a 12-year-old girl, for what reason? You're telling me he never committed a crime before that? I'm sure he did. I mean, I don't want to say that there is no crimes of passion and all that stuff and things can happen. It could have been your one-time crime and you got caught. But I mean, come on. I mean, you killed a 12-year-old girl. I agree with you. You shouldn't be in this world. And you shouldn't be milking our tax dollars to keep, keep on living until you're an old man or you get killed in prison or something happens to you or you die of some natural cause or whatever. It's not fair.
We don't need you.
Yeah, it's not fair for the system. I think Sleepy Joe was at it again. I mean, there's a senator that says that this definitely just put the icing on the cake for making him the worst president ever.
Terrible.
I mean, you're leaving in a month. What are you doing?
Right.
You know what I mean? What is the reasoning? And I didn't go into the whole reading about the whole thing. I just wanted to read who are these inmates that are now no longer have to face the death penalty, which they were already served with sentenced with the death penalty.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Why are you commuting these things? I don't
You're
understand.
just another bill for us and you can't be around human life. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's mind-boggling that he would actually go ahead and his last 2-3 whatever month, let's say, call it, because we're to go ahead and do that. I mean, in what reasoning? You know,
everyone used to think Jimmy Carter was the worst president.
Sleepy Joe is bad, man. It's bad, bro. It's terrible. And I agree with the senator. I think this is definitely in my lifetime the worst president I've ever seen.
And he wasn't a great senator either.
No.
You know what I mean? Yeah, he came across as being moderate. You know, he was the guy from Scranton, I think one of his famous lies last time he ran, before he was named vice president, some bullshit about him. I saw this guy down at the Home Depot and I said hello and I was getting plywood. Motherfucker, you were never in Home Depot. You weren't. Exactly. So he wants to play that tough, I was a tough teenager, tough young man kind of attitude. Right. Like, I'll take you out back. He used to say that about Trump all the time. Well, I'll take him out back behind the gym and punch him in the face. Like, stop. Even back then in the 70s, and how many times did he run? Like, numerous times. And it was always some kind of scandal or conspiracy that he was up to stupid shit. The plagiarism thing, yeah, listen, it may not be as big of a deal as other things, but how true are you to your cause if you're stealing what you're saying? How do I believe you when you're passionate about what you're saying if that you just looked it up? And back then it really wasn't, computers were a minimal thing.
No, yeah.
It was,
everything's on the
beginning of the 80s, and you plagiarize, written, published opinions, and you sound, and it would play them, and you sounded just like them.
I know.
You're just an unbelievable person. So
yeah, I mean, everything he says and comes out of his mouth now is just, I mean, obviously somebody, I don't think he's capable at this point to even speak for himself. Yeah. I think he's just beyond lost of a human that I don't even think he knows what he's doing. I don't think he has like no mind to think for himself. Obviously, these are other people pushing his buttons and pushing their agendas through, because I just don't see him having this capability of coming and saying, I'm going to commute people's sentences. Like, for what reason? Why is your reasoning, Joe Biden? Like, we would like to know, you know what I mean? And I could see other people pushing his buttons. I can see, the Democratic Party saying, or whoever is behind that, and say, hey, this is what you're going to need to do before you're out of here.
Your laundry list of things that we have to take care of before you're gone. And what about her? I haven't heard anything. Peep at her.
No. Where is she?
I have no idea.
Is she even vice president?
She's still our vice president. Apparently, she's got a pretty fat bill that she's responsible for.
Call Trump. He said he'll take care of it for her.
Right.
He said he'll pay for it. But where is she? I don't even know where. I mean, did we lose our vice president now?
Not a word. And she's back to what she was before she campaigned.
Okay,
A zero, nothing.
Zero, yeah.
Like, you don't even hear about her.
I mean, it's crazy. I haven't even seen her on TV. Nothing.
Okay. So one of her assignments was she was the border czar, right?
Right.
And not a thing got done. And when they caught her in that one interview, when she says, we've been to the border, as if she physically was there. And then they called her on, and they're like, "Have you?" And it was, I think, Lester Holt. I think Channel 4 actually called her on it. Have you ever been to the border? And she goes, he kind of caught her where she knew she had to say she wasn't, because she never was. It's documented she was never at the border. And she goes, "Well, I've never been to Europe either." So what does that mean?
What does that
mean? No,
what do you mean?
You got caught in a lie because you said we've been down the border.
Yeah.
We know when you're speaking for the administration and when you're speaking for yourself as part of that. So now the borders are Tom Holman, the incoming Trump's pick. He's on TV every day. He's met with mayors of major cities, sanctuary city thing. New York, Eric Adams, I think, mayor of Chicago. I think he had another list that he didn't want to name, but he was meeting with them and discussing, like, that's the job,
right? Yeah,
like, you're helping communities do what they're supposed to be doing,
right? Oh yeah, no, it's amazing. Yeah, you're right. You brought up a good point, because I have not seen her at all. Nothing. But you're a vice president. Wait a minute. She said she's never been to Europe.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of? This shows the administration we've had for the last 4 years.
Yeah, it's just
it's mind-boggling.
Her quote, it was funny when she said that. I was cracking up, and I go, and this is on, like, we're kind of in public now. Where this is hey, you're going to see this.
Yeah.
So when you're in that situation, and it's not the easiest thing in the world, but when you're caught in that lie, and that's the best you're coming up with.
I know.
How about just don't lie, and maybe it'll be fine.
Yeah, just say what it is. I mean,
I'm a zero, and I've never been there, and I have people that are assigned to do that. People won't be happy about it, but they're never going to label you as
a liar. Yeah,
as a liar. Yeah, I mean, you're not doing a thing about it.
Right.
This guy has done so much more in the short period of time that he's not even in the position yet.
He's only president-elect right now.
Right, and his guy Tom Holman is he's the incoming. I mean, the cabinet positions that are named, I mean, they're all working as hard as they can, obviously, and they're getting a ton of things done, and they're not even in place yet.
No. You know what they did? They tried to have Elon Musk and Trump go at it.
Yeah, it's not
they're saying that they're already trying to pin each other, pin them against each other, like saying stupid comments. And it's like, what games are we playing here?
They have conversations every day.
I know.
I mean, and you know who I like? Vivek.
Vivek, yeah, I like Vivek too.
I think, listen, that whole Doge thing, I mean, listen, if you're going to save the American people money, I mean, these are what, well, every day John and Jane don't want to hear that you're going to take this ridiculous amount of spending. Yeah, whether it's going to be back in your pocket or not, but it may go to other things that you feel that you value.
That's necessary.
That's going to, right. Yeah. It may not mean that I'm going to get a tax dollar back, but I'm going to see it go to something that I could appreciate and think we need. So yes, there's a place for that.
Right.
And they hate it.
Oh, yeah.
They love all that extra spending, special interests, and all that other bullshit. And now they're going to be called on it, and I think they're going to do a fantastic job.
I think so too. I mean, think about it now with Biden commuting these death row guys. We're going to need some money anyway.
Right,
so
right. We have to find it somewhere else.
Yeah, so hopefully
we can feed them.
So hopefully they can find it, so our tax dollars don't go up, and we use that money to cover this now. You know what I mean?
Unbelievable.
It's crazy. So I don't know. Yeah, let's see. I mean, I can't wait. We got 3 weeks left.
Yeah, it's going to be nice,
right? To finally get some change in here. Like I said, our president, our vice president, that I think they've just been, since the election, just been sleeping through. I mean, you don't even hear anything. You don't see anything going on. You don't, then you pop on with this stupid commute thing. I mean, it's like, what are we doing here? I mean, let's change this. Let's go into 2025. Let's make it a big year.
Yeah, make it a big year.
You know what I mean? Let's bring in the new administration. Let's make America great again. You know what I mean? Let's do it.
It's supposed to be something great, not something bad. Everyone thinks it's like the worst thing. But I got to go back and say something. Here's my ADHD again at work.
Okay.
We talked about Ricky Henderson. I got on the football thing because I was comparing it, and then we ended up here. We never finished talking about Ricky Henderson.
No, we didn't.
We didn't. Yeah,
fault. Yeah,
but this is exactly how it goes.
Yeah.
So whether that's good or bad for the podcast, this is what you'll see. This is how I operate.
Right. But
and it's certainly not on purpose.
Yeah.
But One of the greatest.
Yes.
One of the greatest.
He was great. He played for a lot of teams.
Yes.
Yankees.
Yankees. I mean,
Yes.
he was that guy.
Unfortunately, he was taken. I mean, he was only 65, so he was very young, taken very young. But yeah, Ricky Henderson, I mean, he still holds the records. I mean, 130 stolen bases in 1 year is crazy.
There was a reel where a guy, I forgot who it was. I didn't even know who it was. And he stole like 60. And apparently Ricky called him, but Ricky was injured.
Right.
So he was out of potentially even getting close to the record.
Right.
And I think he called him and he said, yeah, Ricky always speaks to him in the third person. He's like, yeah, well, yeah, Ricky here. And, 60 ain't nothing. I had 60 before the All-Star started.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he had 130?
Yeah, 130.
Yeah,
That's mind-boggling. I think Ohtani, I think he did 60 or 50-50, whatever it was, or 60 stolen bases, I think, this year or something like that.
Here's a trivia question. How about who was the 70s big base stealer?
70s big base stealer.
Played for the Cardinals.
Again? No. You stumped me here.
Lou Brock.
Remember? That's right. Yes.
It was a big deal.
It was a big deal. He
Back
was.
in the 70s.
Yes.
He was the base stealing guy.
100%. He was. Lou Brock.
Yeah.
That's right. 70s. I was only born in 79.
I do have useless information sometimes.
There you go.
There somewhere.
There it's somewhere.
So I'll pull it out.
Yeah, it comes out
whenever I
know
can.
what I mean? So again, Mr. Hoos, another great podcast. These fast 30 minutes go while we're bullshitting.
Yeah, man.
We don't even get to talk about everything we want to, but that's why we do multiple podcasts a week. Like that, we can catch up.
Keep it going.
And keep it going, right? And keep the news.
We want to make it fast. We want to spin them and get your comments. So if you have something to say, whether you like it or you don't like it, just participate because it's fun. And this is just opinions. We want to hear yours as well. We want to hear your comments. We want to hear if you like us, if you don't like us, even if you don't. I hate looking at that guy. Okay, fine.
Then go to
Say
Spotify.
Something. Yeah, go to Spotify.
If you don't want to see us. If you don't want to see us.
Any participation, we're hoping to have another big week. Last week was great. 4,300 views. That turned into
12,000 overnight.
12,000 overnight. That's not an experience I've ever had in my life.
So that's why it's worth sponsoring. Cody Marine, Mr. Gloucester and Bo Avila right now getting their name out there. You know what I mean?
We'll take more. We're eventually going to have them here. We could see them.
Yep.
We're going to furnish this and make it, as cool and exciting as we can.
As we can, 100%.
Any ideas you have, don't hesitate.
100%. All right, everybody. Enjoy the holidays. We'll probably catch you again with another episode before New Year's Eve, and we'll have a little New Year's Eve. Maybe we'll have some hats out here and then drink some, some scotch. We didn't get to it today, but
we will.
We'll eventually get there. So, guys, thank you very much. Again, follow us on YouTube, subscribe, go to Instagram, TikTok at Whining Blends. We're also on Facebook, and again, audio only on Spotify. You can find us Whining Blends, so you can hear it in your car, on your boat, wherever you want to listen to us. All right, everybody. Peace out.
Peace. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, everybody.